Pause it, please. Sheree is dumb as hell. You crazy. Baby, this was a mess. As you see in my thumbnail, it's all his fault. Y'all come on in. Let's have this heavy conversation. What's going on, heavy hitters? Come on into Heavy Hitterville, y'all. Let's go on and have this conversation about Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 15, Reunion Part 2. I hope things don't look too bad. I'm back on my iPad, my Sony SV, whatever that girl is. And my StreamYard were lagging as I was trying to do this. So I said, let me hop on the iPad because I wanted to be able to get this done and drop this off for you guys tomorrow. Before we get started, what do we do, y'all? Housewives of Atlanta is gone. What do we do now? Do y'all want me to review Salt Lake City? I do watch it, but I didn't know if you guys would be interested. Do you want to see Salt Lake City? I'm definitely going to be reviewing Married to Medicine and Potomac. Let me turn this music down before I get got. So anyway, let's go ahead, y'all, and let's go on and get started. We start this episode off with Drew and Courtney still arguing and going at it. You know, it is unfortunate that they have given Courtney so much attention to be relevant when she's so irrelevant. The fact that you felt comfortable enough to be on this stage with these ladies and saying the things that you said, and eventually only Kenya and Sanya are the ones to tell you, okay, now Courtney, no, kids are off limits. That's enough. You're wrong. As Sanya's sitting here, Marlo's there, and Sheree's down there. Girl, Drew, I wouldn't really expect Candy to stand up for you. Yes, I would. I expected Candy to be like, okay, girl, come on now. But Candy's a Taurus. I'm a Taurus. You screw me, girl. We pretty much done. It's a wrap. In the midst of arguing, Courtney's like, I didn't say anything about your son. Now, many people see it differently on different ends of the spectrum. Some say she's talking about her parenting. Some are like, girl, you didn't mention him, but you were alluding and you were definitely meaning to mention my son. So I am on this end of the spectrum of, you were talking about the child. You may not have said their name directly, but what you were alluding to was definitely in reference to the child, and it was out of place. So I'm glad that the other two ladies that did say something said something out of the other four. I'm sorry, out of the other six, because they're now the extras and the tag-alongs on there. Sorry, Manietta. In order to deflect Courtney, because she's now caught up in her lie, well, I knew that it was on. I said it multiple times, so that makes it even better? Like, girl, what? And Ralph said nothing to you? Well, of course, he's an asshole, so of course he didn't. Well, she's a total liar. She went to Ty's game in Texas. Why is she here? Why is she here, Ike? Pause me, please. Why is she here? So Andy's like, well, did you go to the game? She's like, yes, I went to the game. That's my friend. And friends support one another, right? Even if they are messing around. So the fuck what? Who gives a good goddamn? Andy then moves on to ask Courtney, well, when did Ralph say he knew he wanted to divorce Drew? In the entire time, I'm thinking to myself, why is he giving this woman so much relevance? You're asking all of these questions that a cousin that he just met should not be answering nor knowing. Like, all of this is foolish. And Andy, but that's what they do. They live for the mess. So why am I surprised? Pause me, please. Why am I surprised? Why am I surprised? To me, Real Housewives of Atlanta and many of the franchises are starting to dwindle in creating actual content that I like, or people who probably think like me want to see, is because they have fallen into this, in my opinion, again, pause me please, in my opinion, this ratchet demographic, right? The basketball wives, the Zeus networks, the Bad Girls Club, where, no offense if you're one of these people, but it's offensive. Catch it. Pause me, please. I'm talking to you. These people who have these ratchet minds, who have not grown from season 1 to where they are now in season 15. These women are older. They have matured. They tend to do things differently. But this, oh, I need to be entertained. Oh, they didn't bring it. Oh, they need to be activated. Oh, they need to be. So in essence, you want them on there arguing, fussing, knocking over tables, throwing drinks at one another, just being really ignorant, like, for the lack of a better word, what we're seeing over on Erica Mena and Spice. That's what y'all need to see to feel entertained. That is mind-boggling to me, especially, and I don't want to make it a black or white thing. It is mind-boggling to me as a race that is what we need to be entertained. That's crazy. This show was created to be able to look at the lives of the opulent, the rich, to see things that we wouldn't normally see, nor be able to experience daily. So the fact that a lot of people are, oh, I wasn't entertained. Oh, I'm not watching. Oh, I didn't watch. Well, girl, shut up and don't watch. Shit. Pause, please. Shut up and don't watch. In the midst of all that, child, I'm sorry I went off on a rant. They're talking about the divorce and what are the rumors and all this type of stuff with Ty. Andy asked what Sheree and Marla know because, you know, Courtney and Drew have gone backwards. He asked Candy. And we get the worst acting scene ever. Oh, I really don't want to be a part of this. I did get some things, you know, as I'm preparing myself to pull out some materials, being that I don't want to be involved, yet I've collected, picked up, packed, because I'm not in Atlanta, I flew to New York, and brought with me. She pulls out some information. Marlo, Mumble's just going to sit over here and keep mumbling. Pause it, please. Marlo, thank you for shutting up. But Sheree takes it upon herself to pull out this manila folder with these pictures of text messages, allegedly, from Drew and Ty. You don't want to be in it, Sheree, but you have this stuff. You have this evidence of, you know, alleged text messages between Drew and Ty. And everybody's like, how'd you get there? Oh, somebody dropped it off to the chateau, baby, the chateau. But you have Gates. Who got them for you? Oh, I don't know. Ralph, Courtney. Well, are these real? Courtney, yeah, they are. They're real. I've seen them. They're real. So, yeah, we know clearly Sheree has shared that definitely with Marlo and with Courtney. You want to call the other side of the peanut gallery, the ladies with money? No, you heifers, I have to catch myself. You heifers are the peanut gallery, and it is quite saddening. Andy looks at the text messages. He's going to give his input. Well, these look pretty incriminating. Oh, God. Kenya, are there any kitty cats in there? Let me see. So he passes them to Kenya. She's like, these don't look incriminating to me. I'm like, yes, Kenya, have your girl back. They could have been very incriminating. Andy is like, well, I wouldn't want my private text messages being out. None of us would, as they're being passed around for everyone to look at. Everyone but Drew, however, because Drew isn't even insisting that she's shown these. She's like, girl, they're friendly. It is what it is. At this point, it's time to wrap up. Andy congratulates Monyetta on her work for her orphanage in Africa. She's like, thank you so much. I've had it for 10 plus years. They take a 45-minute break. In the break, the laughing hyenas, Marlo and Sheree are, ooh, girl, we got her, girl. Yes, girl, we got her. Ooh, Candy is so mad at me, but I had to do it. She just talks about me every week on Speak On It. How do you know? How do you know? So you're clearly a view on YouTube for Candy's line or Candy's channel if you think she talks about you every week, and she does not. Like she has always said, I just give y'all what y'all give me. Her Speak On It is her platform to be able to give her point of view of the episode. She ain't on there just talking about you, Sheree. She may mention you in some aspects because naturally, she's seen what you said on the green screen and in your confessionals. You think she ain't gonna say nothing? You're just mad you're not smart enough to be able to be making probably tens of thousands of dollars off of a platform with your opinion. Don't be mad, be like. Pause me, please. Don't be mad, be like. Ask that woman for advice. That's the craziest shit to me. Oh, that's crazy. In the midst of the break, Courtney chooses to go and visit Ralph and give him the most questionable cousin hug ever. Let's look at it.
What's going on? Great, I'm great. How are you?
I ain't never hugged my female cousins like that, gay or not, because I ain't always been just gay. I was bi, I've had girlfriends in high school and in college, but I ain't never hugged. I couldn't even see me hugging none of my family. I ain't never hugged none of my family like that. That was too embracing. That was too intimate. And then him going down to the nape of your back and you, that was just too intimate. Girl, y'all pound town. Girl. Interestingly enough, it's just like clockwork. Allison is walking by and she glances in. Ralph cuts his eyes over and Courtney clearly sees that something has caught his attention. She has the audacity to try and close his door on Allison. Allison's like, don't close the door on me. What can somebody hit this? Yeah. Oh, God, Allison, I thought she don't use the word B. Courtney, You are just too comfortable. You're too comfortable for a cousin. Catch it. Pause me, please. You're too comfortable for a cousin. Y'all fine. Y'all hidden. Y'all's definitely going to Pound Town. Allegedly. They say you lived in Tampa. We're back. Andy starts off with congratulating Candy with the fact that there's been over 10 years of bedroom candy. Hey, Sheree, this is what success looks like. Candy, I'm a boss lady Burrs. Ask a question. Pause me, please. Hey, Sheree, take the Candy Burrs I'm a boss class. You need it. Or at least just admit that you're not as into this as you were and you've opted to do something else. Why not just do fitness? You say you like fitness. You say you decorated your home. Why not do decor? Like, stop playing in people's profession when it comes to clothing. Sheree takes this opportunity to ask the group, well, what's the freakiest thing you've ever done? To Candy. Candy answers what she's done about foursomes and things of that nature. Marlo takes this opportunity to stick her nose so far up Andy's ass. Pause me, please. That her shoe is dangling out of his anus. Well, you know, the freakiest sex I've ever had was with a Capricorn. And Andy's a Capricorn. Girl, use a corporate kiss ass. Use a corporate kiss. We now understand why you're getting the redemption edit that you're getting and why they're not showing how much of a horrible ass CH you are. We now move over to Sanya. Sanya, unfortunately, sadly, has to discuss her miscarriage and what happened while she was working in New York. Luckily, and by the grace of God, she got impregnated 1 month later. She didn't share the information with anyone other than Marlo. She did the right thing this time. She chooses to take this time, however, to mention who's done what, and lastly, identify that she's very disappointed in Kenya because Kenya didn't reach out to her at all. It's like she just totally dismissed after she sent out a mass text. Kenya looks at her and says, I reached out to you. You didn't answer. She's like, well, I didn't get it. And Kenya softly, in my opinion, of course, people that dislike Kenya are going to say what they want to say and see it how they want to see it. She softly responds, look, we were going to do this together. I would never do that. I reached out to you. I can see how you feel that way. I'm sorry that that's how you feel, but I did not do that. I did try to reach out to you. I never would do that to you. So, you know, she softly, in my opinion, handled that, and it went no further. She didn't try to turn up, and I'm glad that she pretty much just deaded that and not gave her what she wanted, in my opinion, because I think Sanya was really trying to get a moment out of her. They asked Kenya about what she's going to do. I'm sorry, let me go back. They then ask Sanya about the family. Are they still there? She's like, no, everybody moves out. But of course, Marlo, being the best bud of the new freaking frack, is like, oh yeah, but they live 5 minutes away, and she's always there. Kenya is then asked what are her plans in reference to extending her family. She mentions that she's going to adopt, preferably somewhere around the ages of 2 to 3, because that's close around the age of Brooklyn, and they've begun to develop, so they won't be the toddler. They know how to communicate. Well, they are a toddler, I'm sorry, but they aren't a lap baby or arm baby where there's, you know, a real lot of effort. Let's just be honest. There's a lot of effort. And of course, she would have nannies, but, you know, she just wants to be closer to Brooklyn. Although Brooklyn's like, what, 4 or 5? So, you know, right around the age. Sanya now wants to talk about Mommy Nation, and they ask about their situation with the sister. Then she chooses again to come back to Kenya and tell Kenya that, you know, she only does things that make herself look good. Kenya's like, girl, I didn't have to give you my time or my money. If we're going to talk about shade, let's talk about how your friends over there didn't want to actually bid anything. And they're like, we were going to do it anyway. We just didn't want to do it because it was you. Sanya. Pause me, please. Sanya, wake up. Your friends over here, they're telling you that, girl, it's your charity event, but we don't care because the actual host or who's doing the bidding, we don't like her. So, girl, we'll just take care of you later. Aesthetically, that's not cute because you want your friends to be seen supporting you because it's like a ripple effect. Oh, girl, the Housewives be at 5. I only got 1,000. Let me get my 1,000. Oh, the Housewives, girl. It's a trickle down effect. Like, that's just crazy. And you still cool, but you will go to the end of earth defending Marlo and her shenanigans. Girl, you need some help. Girl, get your head up out of Marlo's ass. We now move over to an audience question, and the audience question happens to be from someone named Sheree. Pause me, please. Yeah, right. It happens to be for somebody named Sheree, and they're asking Candy, why don't you step down? Why are you here? Blah, blah, blah. In essence, girl, get off the show. And Candy responds, and she gives her, explanation and says, well, Sheree would know a lot about taking breaks. This crazy heifer, I'm going to start calling Sheree a gargoyle. Because the way it sounded like she was about to transform into one. How do I look now, bitch? You could not. Let's look at it.
Well, how I look now, bitch?
Pause me, please. Damn, was Sheree about to transform into a werewolf or a gargoyle? I look now, bitch. Sheree, what's going on? Y'all, why was Sheree barking and growling and grunting like that? Girl, what's wrong with you? Was the face work starting to come out or harden your throat? What was wrong with her? Oh my God. Sheree chooses to clap back with, oh honey, I'm called back because the seasons are lackluster.
The footage says it's a lie, bitch. Bitch.
Sheree, pause me, please. Are you serious? You're the savior of lackluster seasons when you are the epitome of lackluster?
The lies. There you go. This bitch. The lies.
You have chosen to attack Candy this entire reunion when y'all squashed your beef. How much of a reach is that? That's lackluster. Like, girl, in your entire season, in this entire reunion, no one even asked about Sheree. That should have been some conversations that Andy should have been having. How's Sheree going? What are some of the new products? Girl, she should have been in the She News. It should have been some stuff to dig into everybody, and it should have been boom, last 2 pages. These are my new products that will drop after the reunion. That's what oh Sheree, you dumb. You are surrounded by idiots because you should have been capitalizing off of the moment, how it was such a flop and a failure after the reunion last year. You should have worked on the bandwidth in case people started going to the website. You should have worked on marketing. You should have worked on making sure that the manufacturers had everything. You should have had new designs. You should have been everything should have been She by Sheree instead of spending all that goddamn time on preparing a church funeral flyer booklet to diss Candy. It should have been promoting you. You stupid.
Pause it, please. Sheree is dumb as hell. You crazy.
Sheree is dumb as hell. It's the most, girl, ain't no way I would have did all that. And this was the moment you chose to diss Candy, who has done nothing to you, pretty much. Y'all squashed the beef. And you chose not to promote your products for the long run, which you were so busy trying to solidify your peach for next season by arguing with the top dog. Y'all can think what y'all want to think. But Candy is the top dog because she's the longest running, highest paid out of all franchises. So you should have been solidifying that. You could have thrown a little shade and had some argument, but boom, this is what I want to be doing next season. And I'll be doing this. I'll be traveling to wherever. I'm expanding my empire. Girl, she's a fool. That's enough of my rant about that heifer.
Oh my gosh.
We move over to Marlo so she can lie. Andy doesn't really understand where this 2-year moment came from with the situation with the cousin. Pause me, please, and let me lean in and have this conversation. Andy, none of us understood where it came from. And y'all spent too much time on it. Y'all spent 3 to 4 episodes on it. We didn't see Leia Archive. We didn't find out what happened to Marlo's house she was building. We didn't see her work with Tammy. All these people she was claiming to work with. Did she say she even had a contract with Tyler Perry? We saw nothing, none of that. We didn't see Sheree Bill. We got a pretty good idea what happened with Sanya. With Drew, we got a good idea what happened with them. Kenya, girl, I love you, but they dissed you this season. Because we should have seen the soft opening. We should have seen her building out the salon, although there was still work to be done. Marlo starts trying to lie her way and explain to what made her activate this new beef with Candy and what reignited it after they had filmed last season, ate chicken in Jamaica, squashed the beef, and thought they were starting over. Candy had an incident where there was an outing shay, little pig Latin, at her restaurant, unfortunately with her nephew's son. She's like, you listen to speak on it, she says like Melvin, whatever his name is like a son to her because she, kind of raised him. And she's like, well, that happened, and it just really made me think about it. First of all, you had to text Candy to see if he even worked there. You didn't know that boy worked there. And then, like, Candy comes saying, I don't understand either, Andy, because it keeps changing. First, I didn't acknowledge it. Second, I didn't do enough to make you feel good. Third, I didn't fry no chicken. Fourth, I didn't send no flowers. Fifth, I didn't go to the funeral and sing Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace. Y'all remember from Meet the Browns when Jennifer Lewis, Grace, Daddy, oh my daddy. I'm sorry. Like she said, the goalpost just kept moving. The idea of what you were upset about Marlo, because it's a lie, just kept changing. Like, girl, y'all should have wrapped that in one episode and been like, Marlo, girl, what else you got? In the words of Cynthia Bailey, now what else is going on? Because this is some foolishness. But because this is the route that production is going in, wanting the girls to be petty and bitter and in some more shenanigans and mess, this is what they have opted to follow with. Foolish. While they are debating, because Marlo isn't the best at being able to express herself, she's ignorant. That's what it is. What it is. Sanya takes it upon herself to think that now, yet again, I need to jump in and kind of save my good girlfriend. Again, head so far up Marlo's ass, it's ridiculous. Candy's like, look. I shouldn't be having to argue with you about her. So stay out of this. Well, you can think we're arguing, but we're not arguing. Girl, it's going to be an argument because I'm telling you to mind your business. She didn't say it like that, but she really should have. Like, girl, stay out of this. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Basically, stay out of this saying this ain't got nothing to do with you. You ain't learned your lesson yet. They talk about it back and forth again. Marlo's still lying. And then Candy checks her like, girl, you hit me up 2 days later after you came to my house. We had a moment. They showed us having a moment. And then you hit me up 2 days later asking me, hey, you want to work under me under Cameo? You didn't send me any information to say, hey, this is the address for the funeral. Can you do so-and-so and such and such? You didn't send me any information for me to even make the decision on if I want to be able to do something. But you hit me up to make some money though, right? Yeah, you really affected. Girl, get the fuck out of here. In the midst of all this, they're going back and forth. Drew is like, you should have talked to Candy one-on-one about that. But you just made it such an issue. You went around talking to whoever would listen. After these ladies have had their interaction, we take another break. We're making preparation for Ralph to come in as the ladies are scooting down when they really should have been scooting out. Why are they here for this intimate marital discussion we're getting ready to have with the only husband that we've invited back? Which I'm not mad at because the husbands weren't really that involved this season, so it wouldn't have made sense to bring the husbands in and have them sit behind the wives just other than a look. Just other than for the aesthetic, because they didn't really do anything. But the only husband y'all invited back, y'all gonna have all these heifers in here while they talk about these issues that they're having? In front of heifers that don't even like me? Nah, they got to go, bro. And then, why they here? They got, pull them on, push them on out. Baby. Drew, finally one of your props landed because the others have been the fool. Pause me, please. The others, Drew, have been a fool. Leave them props alone. She tells Andy, hey, hand him this. It's a peach. Because I know that's what he's here for. I live, Drew. You did that and it landed, girl. They talk about things. Drew is so out of it or over it, she is looking to the side. Ralph has talked to Courtney, I'm sure Miss Crisis manager. I love my wife. You know, he's very serious. He's soft. You know, he's very humble. He's acting to be compassionate and caring. I love my wife. You know, we want to work these things out. They talk about the fact that they're in mediation. Andy asked Ralph, has he cheated? If it would have come out if I cheated already. That's not what I asked you. Did you cheat? He finally says, no. Drew, have you ever cheated? She's like, absolutely not. I think you're both cheating on each other, allegedly. They go through their issues. This is very uncomfortable. Like, this is uncomfortable to watch, so I can only imagine how uncomfortable it was to actually sit on the couch with these two individuals that are going back and forth. He brings up the idea through discussion and argument and back and forth with them. Well, your assistant is the one who told me you were cheating with Ty. No, he didn't. Why are you lying on his name? And the other lady's like, yeah, he did say it. I've heard it too. Candace's like, yeah, he told my makeup artist, and she told somebody else. Why are you can't get involved in things that you don't know. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Pause me, please. You just not gonna believe none of them, girl. Bless your heart. It's both of you are gaslighters, but it's easier to see how he's able to gaslight you and make you alienate your family and to do all these things in this list of things that you said he's done to you since y'all were in Chicago, like you said. It's easy to see how he got away with it. While he's talking about her cheating with Ty, she's like, girl, you know what? I got something for you. She pulls out her phone, hands it to him. Oh, I love you did that. I love that you did that. I'm sure you did. Yeah, that's his number. They're all like, well, what is it? Marlo, read it out loud. What is it? It's a woman with a big ass. And then, for some reason, Sanya and Marlo go, whew, like, oh, are the streets saying otherwise when it comes to Ralph? Are the streets saying, pause me please, are the streets saying otherwise when it comes to Ralph? Ralph, you like big dudes? Let me stop. I'm serious. But y'all wear him out. Oh my God, I cannot believe I just did that. I wouldn't marry him, but I'd definitely eat. Anyway, I'm laughing, y'all, because I'm not going to put in what I just said. Pause me, please. It was nasty. I can't let y'all know I get down like that. Anyway, we're talking about the information, and the idea of what happened in Vegas comes out. He's like, I was there for a conference. He shows his footage of him walking around suited and booted with a little name tag on, and says that Drew lied and made up the idea of auditioning for Vegas. We see some unaired footage that Candy has in one of her confessionals, calling the people over the idea of the Chocolate City stuff. And like, oh yeah, he's supposed to be here. Y'all are some liars and some gaslighters. You're going to talk about she made it up, but it clearly, it's not a big deal. Bro, which is it? Like, you big egghead bastard, which is it? Like, y'all some gaslighters and some liars. It's crazy. In the midst of bantering and going back and forth, they have to one-up each other because it is what it is. Well, he says he's getting head and blowjobs from around the world. I never said that. Well, it was funny, it wasn't for real. Y'all play too much. Y'all play too much. Like, what are we doing here? Like, this is how we're ending the season? Like, we get to the idea of adoption. He gives his 3 reasons why. I find it really interesting, to be honest, that you have been around her son's life, I don't want to say his name, since he was the age of 3. They said he's 12 now, so that's 9 years, right? You're acting as if you just met her and him. You've been in this boy's life for 9 years, and you're being so cold and disconnected. I wouldn't adopt him because so-and-so. But you said you were going to adopt him. Those are things that you said. You were so involved in such an amazing stepfather that you wrote a book and profited off of the fact of being a great stepfather. But here you are now acting like you can't provide for the child because you provided for the child for the last 9 years. You're all he knows, pretty much. The father, the biological father, has been in and out of jail. The boy don't know him. He does say he didn't want to take that away from a black man. Here we go with the black. I wouldn't do that to a black man. That same black man has been in and out of jail, and he hasn't been an adequate father as far as we know, right? Allegedly. Well, we've been presented. He hasn't been an adequate father for this young man that you had been for the last 9 years. So it's crazy to me. I'll leave that alone because it is what it is. Andy asks, do they love each other? They both say yes. She goes through this soliloquy again, another speech, and she's like, I gave you all my 30s. You continue to break my heart. You've done this, you've done that. This is always how it's been. And then, while pouring out her heart, and the sad thing with Drew and him, you never really know what's the truth. He says, you're acting. You're acting right now. Mid-soliloquy, she's like, I'm done. Fuck this. I'm not gonna do. Now, I think she was really acting here. I don't take it at home. I'm not gonna. Well, girl, on film, you take it at home. So I don't. Pause it, please. Is this a scene?
And scene.
Was this unaired footage from the past? Like, what are you doing here, Drew? What are we getting? We're like, this is weird. What's happening here? Is what I'm thinking. She leaves, and Monyetta and Sanya go check on her. I didn't really expect all the ladies to go. I figured that Sanya would go because she did when they were in Portugal. Was it in Portugal when she went to go check on her when her and Sheree had gotten into it? Monyetta went. I didn't really expect pretty much anyone else because her and Candy aren't getting along. And Candy is like, no, I'm sorry, Kenya is like, I'm gonna stay over here because I got to, bitch, I ain't had much airtime, and I need to make sure I come back next season. Let me go and talk to him. You know, Ralph, I will admit I feel that this was very genuine. Kind of concocted and planned, yes, but I do feel that it was genuine as she begins to soften her voice and have a conversation with Ralph. Hey, I've been through the same thing with Mark, my ex-husband, my soon-to-be ex-husband. And just some of the things that you do are very familiar. The way that you don't show up for her, the way that you don't support her, the way and the things that we're hearing that you do and how you treat her. She just wants ABC, XYZ. And is, well, I think I show up for my wife. And is like, I don't think that shows up on film. And then Ken's like, and then you're supporting and working with the ops. That's my cousin. Kenya's like, you don't know that lady. And it's true, you don't know that lady. Boy, stop. Unless y'all smashing. Pause me, please. Because that's the word on the street. Girl, let me shut up. Because that's what it's giving. That embrace did not give cousin energy. He tries to check Kenya. Well, how long have you been married? She was like, 2 years, but does that really matter? Well, yeah, it does. No, it doesn't, Ralph. Reality is, habits are habits. Characteristics are characteristics, and traits are traits. If you can exhibit what she's seen in her 2 years, and what Drew has had to deal with in 9 years, is crazy. Anyone can recognize foolishness in 2 seconds, regardless of 9 years. Anyone can recognize bullshit. That's why Allison don't F with you. Because she called you out and she saw it. She saw it. And that's why you ban her. You ban her. Sister. Oh, Drew, girl. Mama, you did that to yourself. The ladies are talking about, girl, keep it together. You got this. Don't let him see you sweat. You know, all that, girl, you got this empowerment stuff we do for one another. Girl, get your ass back there and get this money. Fuck that nigga. What they should have been saying. Girl, get your back there and that nigga. Go on there. Don't let that man see you sweat, because that's his adrenaline, seeing you suffer and get all that. You see how calm this man is? He is getting a thrill of you breaking down and just, quote unquote, him getting the best of you. Girl, F that. And y'all still in the same house? That's some crazy shit. Anyway, she comes back out. They talk some more. Now she's getting ready to sing. She sings a song. This was the most cringe-worthy, awkward performance of any franchise ever. Not because she didn't sound good, because she did. But after singing, after crying, she now has to sing. And it's a song about losing your love and him doing something. And she's singing to him, and that was so cringy. Everybody's looking around like, crazy. Pause me, please. That was some awkward ass shit. Like, what is happening here? We end the reunion, for some odd reason, acquiescing to Shyt as the OG and as the resident peacemaker. Andy, what you drinking? Shyt's the peacemaker? I know she's tried to play the role of the peacemaker. At this point, I wouldn't even call Shyt OG. Was she there from the beginning? Yes, but we don't respect her as an OG. OGs don't move like Shyt moves. Like, they are solidified and they know who they are. She doesn't know who she is. She's still envious and jaded at what Candy has. And many people may not agree. But in my opinion, Shyt is jealous of Candy because of the same reason Marlo is jealous of Candy. How is this girl the highest paid when we're here? We're doing this. We've done this. What do y'all want more of from Candy? She has given you everything since she stepped on. She's given you death. She's given you life. She's given you marriage. She's given you failed relationships between a mother-in-law and a son. She's given you failed relationships with the father and the daughter. She has shown you tense moments between a mama and a friend, tense moments with two mother-in-laws, tense moments with a son-in-law, tense moments with her and her mama. Like, what more? She's giving you surrogacy. She's giving you birth. Like, what more do you want? But that's another question for Candy, too. What more can you show? Candy, have you come full circle? Now, I know walking away from $2 million+ is not easy. Filming for 6 to 8 months out of a year and making $2 million, that's not easy to walk away from. I get it. But Candy, are you done? I would love, honestly, for Candy to stay. But if Candy can step away from Bravo or step away from the franchise and still do, like, Candy and the Gang, something with the aunties. I don't know, whatever, and just be able to go away. Now, it wouldn't be anything like the money she gets with Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, get the group again. Like, baby, R&B, whatever, the Queens, baby, that was the lick right there. Anyway, y'all, let me wrap this up. It's gotten kind of long. It was a long episode. Let's do what we do. Let's talk about it in the comments. Again, welcome to Heavy Hitterville. Y'all be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all social media. I am on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok as Heavy Hitter Media. I am on Twitter as the HH Media TV. Again, until the next time, y'all be easy. Peace.